What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we're talking about 2017's The Last Jedi, directed by Rian Johnson, episode 8 in the Star Wars saga. This movie, I feel like I should like it more, but to me, doesn't characterize Luke correctly, right? Like, I agree with Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill said, I fundamentally disagree with every bit of your characterization of Luke Skywalker. With that being said, he'll do everything possible to do your vision, right? To see your vision through. And I do like that he takes on the walkers at the end of the movie. All these walkers on by himself. I don't really love that it's a Force ghost the whole time. But I like that it's like a nod to Empire Strikes Back, right? Because Force Awakens was a nod to A New Hope, and had many nods to A New Hope in that movie. But I love that how it looks like a snowy white planet between walkers and the rebels, and you get it's not quite. It's also a sand planet, and they have this great visual of them flying with the red kicking up, but it doesn't feel like there's any real stakes to it. Like, it just feels like we're watching it and it's cool, but it doesn't feel necessary. It doesn't feel like this. If we don't do this right now, the whole world will be lost, right? Like, they end up just coming out here to go towards this thing that's blasting a hole, and then right when Finn, if he sacrificed himself, being a former stormtrooper, sacrificed himself for the good guys and blows up that cannon thing, whatever, that would have been some huge stakes, right? That would have been a huge character moment. We would have been sad to have lost Finn, but we would have also been like, Finn just saved everybody, cool. But instead, he's about to fucking do it, and this fucking bitch Rose comes rams him out of it. I was like, and it's funny. It's hilarious to see. It's not like it's sad. It's not like it's like, oh, she saved him. It's like, what the fuck's this bitch doing? She just, boom. Like, in the way they cut to her face, and she's like, like, this shit in this movie that is just plain old funny for no reason. And it's not funny because they wanted it to be funny. It's funny because it just, is comical. With that being said, though, I do love BB-8 in this movie. He carries. I do love that Poe Dameron is an unbelievable pilot. He really is. He's unbelievable. But it makes me think, at least, is he Force sensitive, how good a pilot he is? Like the last time we saw a very good pilot, his name was Anakin Skywalker or Luke Skywalker, and they're Jedis, right? Like, so, but I mean, I guess Harrison Dule is a great pilot, but she's not Force sensitive, but that also puts into question, in my eyes, how she heard the lightsabers in the last episode of Ahsoka. With Jason there. Was Jason showing her the Force a little bit? I don't know. We know he's Force sensitive. We know Kanan was. But I'm saying maybe Hera is, too. Maybe. She just didn't have it manifest with lightsaber. She had it manifest through flying like a G. With that being said, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, not in this week's episode of Ahsoka, but she's still got that character of Hera cheeked up. I didn't realize Mary Elizabeth Winstead had that much ass. But, hey, here's what it is. But I do like the first, right? Like, the whole last movie was about Rey getting to the island to see Luke, and now we're on the island, and they kind of started off funny, but I don't know. I feel like they could have done a better job with the storytelling here. I think they just kind of told a story, but was it the best story they could have told? I don't think so. I really don't. Like, she hands him the lightsaber, and he could have gone, no, this will be yours, and I will teach you, right? Like, and been this wise Jedi that's been waiting for his next pupil to find him. Like, otherwise, why did you leave this map? You left a map to find you, but you wanted to be alone this whole time? Then why the fuck did you leave a map, you motherfucker? Like, it would have taken somebody very special to find you here. Now somebody specialist came, hands you your lightsaber, and you just kind of go, throw it out the fucking window like the last original trilogy didn't even fucking happen, didn't mean nothing. Like, come on. Like, Luke should be this wise Jedi right? And I get they were leading towards, oh, he doesn't teach anymore because Kylo was his student and he was going to kill him. I don't agree with that either, right? Like, if he was going to kill Kylo, I think he would have killed Kylo. And if Kylo was that bad originally, then he would have killed him. Or he would have left him leave by himself. But instead he kills the other students. And I don't know. I like Kylo as a villain, but I don't like how they made him a villain in this. Like, they could have left it more open. Right? They didn't have to identify him as Ben Solo. And even with him being Ben Solo, they didn't have to, like, oh, he was a student at this temple, and one night, I turned on the lightsaber in a moment of weakness. I scared little boy, right? Like, they didn't have to go into that shit. And even the way they did it, I just don't love it. I don't. This whole movie, they could have gone into the Knights of Ren. They could have gone into a bunch of shit, but they just didn't. And I don't know. I can't look past it. Ironically, though, I still like this movie. This shot that with Luke's metal hand on R2's head, and they're looking at the burning temple, the temple we saw being built in The Mandalorian season 2 or 3. Like, there is some parts I like. This battle with Snoke's cut in half body with Rey and Kylo together, and they're fighting off these red guards. I mean, it's a good fight. It's not the best Star Wars fight. Entertaining, sure. The last little kill he gets where Rey throws him the lightsaber, he grabs it and turns it on right through the guy's eyeball. Yeah, that's a good kill. But, between the fights in this movie, I don't know. I think, honestly, the Rise of Skywalker with this water fight, I like a lot more for some reason. It's just kind of like the reverse of Mustafar in Revenge of the Sith. You get the fight on water now, and I don't know, it looks cool. But I don't know, just overall the final battle with Luke facing on the entire First Order and AT-ATs lining them up and shooting at them, it's just too funny, like, it's too much of a meme now. Fire everything we have at that man. It's one guy and you're firing hundreds of shots. More, and you're like, Jesus, Adam Driver, do not blow a gasket right now. Fucking, he's a ghost, and then he just, like, he shoots him. All right, that's enough. Luke just dusts it off. Like, that's not, I don't know. It's not the best. It just isn't. I mean, parts of me really wants to like this movie. I think originally I liked this movie a little bit more, but I don't necessarily, I like all the Star Wars movies. It was an entertaining 2 hours and 20-something minutes. I feel like that movie could have had some scenes cut out of it, right? Like the whole side quest with Finn and Rose and that other shit. Unnecessary to me, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't feel, it didn't feel important at all. And then, I don't know. I don't like it, like... I do like this movie, though. I don't want you to think I don't, but I like it around the same level as probably Phantom Menace for me, because I like that movie. A lot of people hate that movie, but I like Qui-Gon, I like the pod racing, and I like Darth Maul. If I'm only going to be able to like a few things from a movie, but still like the movie as a whole, because it's in the Star Wars universe, I feel like that's this movie to me. I like parts of it. I don't love it. I don't like the character decisions. Visually, it's still a pretty great movie. When she describes the Force and, like, you see the visuals all over the planet, death and decay, and it comes back around. Like, that whole part is pretty great stuff. Pretty great, describing of the Force and seeing the first Force learned through this new character. But the next movie, I have gripes too. Like, how are you going to make Rey a Palpatine? Like, this movie was supposed to pay off who her parents were. And then they were just, they're filthy drug traders. They're nothing. You're nothing. Right? Like, come on. Like, Rey should have been somebody cool, or you should have kept her as a nobody. Right? Like, she shouldn't have just become a Palpatine at the end. And then it's the Rise of Skywalker because her name's Rey Skywalker. So you just take the name from the two people that are now dead? You could have said my master's name was Skywalker. My name's just Rey. Just Rey. Oh well. I'm still looking forward to Rey's New Order, and she's apparently supposed to have her movie of her own where she's now the Jedi Master and she's restarting and creating this new Jedi Empire. I'm all for it. Finn better be a Jedi. Poe better be there in some facet, being the greatest pilot ever, or a Jedi. BB-8, he's funny, he should be there. Chewbacca, because he's a legend, he should be there. I don't know. I think I'm more excited for James Mangold's Star Wars movie, which is supposed to be like early, like before Phantom Menace, before all that shit, and show us like how the Force came to be, how the first Jedi type came to be. That shit would be super interesting to me. Honestly, if there's one Star Wars thing that I want to see made, other than, you know, I'm really liking Ahsoka, and the movie that Dave Filoni makes from there will be dope, but there's one episode in particular of Star Wars Visions. Season 1, I want to say it's either episode 1 or 2. I want to say it's episode 1, though, and it's called The Duel. And it's between a Sith lady with an afro and an umbrella lightsaber and a samurai Sith, because he has a red lightsaber, but it's shaped like a samurai blade. You know, like that guy, whoever that guy is, he had Sith crystals in his vest, hands one to a child, goes, hold on to this, it wards off evil. Or it brings evil. But hey, if it wards off evil, whatever. I want to see that guy's story. I want to know more about who the fuck that was, and see him in live action would be so cool. Just to see a lightsaber just be a samurai blade, not really like the dark saber, not really like lightsabers, just pulls it out like it's a samurai, you know what I mean? Like, that is so cool and so dope, and that whole episode is some of the greatest Star Wars stuff I've ever seen, ever. So if you haven't seen Star Wars Visions, go check it out. But check out my last Comically Boston for my last episode of Ahsoka. We're talking about episode 6, Far, Far Away. Thrawn is back, baby. Cannot wait. Stay tuned for future videos. We should be having more movie reviews coming to the channel ASAP. We will be continuing our Marvel movie rewatch, continuing our Star Wars movie rewatch. Sunday of this week, I am watching the final Star Wars movie. I will probably also watch Rogue One at some point this week, because I forgot to do that one in the middle. But go check out my other Star Wars movie reviews and see how your thoughts and my thoughts, maybe they align, maybe they don't, but I would love to hear what your thoughts are on Star Wars movies in the comment section below. At me on Twitter, at BigCamYouTube, at me on Instagram, at ComicallyBoston, or BigCam12. I have 2 different accounts. I have one that I'm trying to focus for the podcast stuff, but I have also my personal account. All the links are in the description below, or you can email me, comicallyboston@gmail.com, if you have any questions or anything you want to talk to me about, any questions for me, any insights, any things you want to talk about on the podcast. Feel free to hit me up on there, and I will see all of you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.